Hey, this is Brum from Brum Gaming, and you're watching the 8-man Nightmare Mode walkthrough for G4-B3 Heavy Fabricator, the 4th encounter in Karagga's Palace. This encounter is a puzzle boss. For this fight, you'll need 1 tank, 5 DPS, best if 3 are ranged, and 2 healers. The most important part of this fight is solving the puzzle quickly. The encounter is derived from the Towers of Hanoi puzzle. In this encounter, there are 3 columns of screens and a selection screen above them. The idea is to move the column of icons in order to a column, then use the fire ability. There are buttons separated on a platform to operate the movement of icons. Here's how it works. Before the boss is active, you can practice with the system. The fight starts out with a 1 in the left column, a 2 in the middle, and a 3 on the right. The idea is to stack them in one column with a 3 on the bottom, the 2 in the center, and the 1 on top. Then you'll be able to fire that column, which will cause an effect on the boss that is being tanked below it. To move a number, you need to click the button for a given column to move that number into the selection screen. Here we click the middle column button, and the 2 moves into the selection screen. Then we click the right column button, and the 2 is put over the 3 where we want it. Then the left, then the right, and we're able to fire the column. There's a 7-step process for moving the ordered numbers from one column to another. Step 1. Place the 1 in the column you want to move the entire stack to. Step 2. Place the 2 in the open column that remains. Step 3. Place the 1 on the 2 in order to open that column up for the 3. Step 4. Place the 3 in the column that you want to move to. Step 5. Place the 1 in the open column to free up the 2 for movement. Step 6. Move the 2 in place above the 3. And Step 7. Move the 1 in place above the 2. To execute these steps during the fight, it's easiest done with 3 ranged DPS, 1 at each column's button. Note that you cannot simply solve this once and repeatedly fire the same column. You must move it to another column and fire it before you're able to fire that same column again. The key to this is communication. Going too fast will cause the icons to get mixed up and will take additional time. We practice this for a minute or 2 prior to every fight to make sure we're good to do it quickly during the fight. As far as boss's abilities go, the boss has a stacking damage reduction buff, a stacking damage increase buff, plasma leash, pummel, smash, and sticky grenade. The main mechanics of the fight are the fire effects on the columns. The right column fire effect removes the boss's damage reduction buff and significantly increases the damage the boss takes. The middle column fire effect removes the damage reduction buff as well as pulls the leftover probes and droids to the boss and explodes them. The left column fire effect removes damage reduction buff and the damage increase buff, as well as slows the boss, which allows you to kite the boss to remove the tank's armor reduction debuff. When you fire any column, any player standing inside the yellow warning zone under that column will take immense damage and will probably be killed instantly. The boss will periodically spawn proximity pulse mines and proximity stun droids. The boss also has a 200% hard and rage timer. Overall, the fight strategy is fairly simple. The goal of this strategy is to have the boss under the effect of the damage increase debuff for as much of the fight as possible, in order to maximize damage during this time. You'll start by firing the right column, after which all DPS will be on the boss. Once the damage increase buff goes away, the boss will start stacking the damage reduction buff. Once he does this, the ranged DPS, or whoever you have on puzzle duty, will break off to operate the puzzle consoles. These players will kill the droids and mines that spawn up on top of the platform and begin moving the puzzle icons to the middle column using the 7 steps talked about earlier in this video. Once the puzzle is in the middle and the boss has been moved to the middle column, you'll fire that middle column. Immediately after that, the people on puzzle duty will move the puzzle to the right, and the tank will move the boss to the right column. When everything is set up, you'll fire the right column and then put all DPS back on the boss. This strategy dramatically shortens the time of the fight, which allows for the tank and healers to use their cooldowns and energy more freely, knowing the fight won't drag on. You'll want to make sure you kill droids and mines on platforms so that your ranged DPS can get in position to damage the boss quickly and not waste precious damage time. This actually happens to me during this fight, and we lose several important seconds of bonus damage. You'll also want to do a quick countdown before you fire a column to allow your melee DPS and tank to be sure they're out of the firing zone, or else you will kill them upon firing. Good luck. Here's a quick review of the important elements of the fight. Make sure to practice the puzzle before you engage the boss. This will reduce the overall time of the fight and the amount of healing that needs to be put on the tank. Only use the right and middle columns, trying to solve each time rapidly to get it back to the right column. Maximize damage and damage cooldowns after the right column has been fired and the DPS buff has been placed on the boss. Healing can be intense, so make sure to burn healing and tank cooldowns when the tank's health dips.